Hi, it's Cindy from Quilters Covered, and I'm really excited today to show you our row for the Row by Row experience this summer, June 21st through September 8th. So this is our row. We're really excited. We've got just some fun thing. The theme this year is Row by Row H2O, so we kind of have a little bit of a water theme going. But why I'm doing this video is to show you guys that have purchased our pattern and kits is how to make our little hexy flowers on our pattern. So we are going to start. Now the two best tools to use are going to be the little hex and more ruler, and then it's good to have all your stuff together when you start, and then the big hex and more ruler. These are by Jaybird Designs, and they're just incredible rulers. They have so many purposes, but we're going to use them to make little hexagons today. So I'm going to start with this little guy. And so what we've done on here is I have cut a 2.5 inch hexagon, and this is a perfect 2.5 inch hexagon. So if I lay that on here, you can see if I put my tool on the top, there's a nice little line here. I can cut this shape perfectly from this tool. Then I also need a 4.5 inch hexagon. Well, that little mini hexamore is a little too small, so I'm going to go over to my trusty full-size hexagon. Cool thing on here is I could use this tool for both. There's 2.5 inch, we've got triangles, hexagons, half hexes, really fabulous ruler. So there are markings for a 4.5 inch hexagon right here, or I could have done my little 2.5 inch hexagon right there. And this will take you up to a 8.5 inch hexagon. So really spectacular ruler. Now you might want, at least I did on my row, to have a little bit of dimension to my flowers. So I put a little bit of batting in there. But I don't want my batting to shift around. So I am a big fan of 505 basting spray. Now the overspray goes lots of places. So I usually work in a box lid. So I'm just going to take my spray and go zip, and put just a little dab. I don't want it over my beautiful Baby Luxe sewing machine, so that was an imaginary spray. I already have basting spray on here. And I'm going to stick it onto the back of my 2.5 inch hex. Then I'm going to go spritz, and I'm going to center it on my 4.5 inch hexagon so that I have the equal amount hanging over on all sides. Okay? Then we're going to head to the iron. And we're going to press under to the edge of my hex and press again. So we'll show you a little finished guy. So here's my little guy, and if you guys don't have the Wonder Clips, they're phenomenal because they're going to hold everything in place. So what I did is I ironed in one time, ironed in the second time, and just kept going all the way around. Once I have it all pressed up nice and neat, then I can go to the sewing machine and just top stitch around. And there's my dimensional hex. This one we use stiff stuff in, so it's got a bunch of body. I've used batting in this one, or fusible fleece, so you've got suggestions on what you want to put it in. So when I sew it onto my row, my edges are loose. I've just top stitched it either around here or done a little extra quilting. So that gives me a little 3D look. Okay, so that's our little mini hexes. Now we're going to go to our bigger hexagon flowers. I'm going to go back to use my hex and more rulers. So in our instructions we tell you to cut 1.5 inch strip. We'll need 2 of them. And if we are doing this flower, you'll use your light and dark pinks. This one is light and dark purples. And you know that's not purple, that's turquoise. It's early in the morning. And then a combination of things. So whatever combinations you guys like, you don't have to do it identical to ours, but we just give you suggestions. So I've sewn my strips together and I've pressed. Then I'm going to come to my little, I love this guy. This is the Fiskars, the little one. We're doing tons of minis. So this is the little small swivel rotary cutter. So I'm going to set it on here, and I'm going to use my little mini hex and more, and I'm going to line up my lines on the ruler. I'm going to cut, I'm going to pivot, cut, and pivot. And I'm a lefty, so you'll have to excuse me while I start from the other end. So I'm going to lay it on here. And I'm all about rotary cutting safety, so if you have to use a cutter like this one, because of my leftiness, that's what I do. Make sure that you cut it in between. So there's one cut, a poorly done cut. We shall try that again. I never cut sitting down. I don't think that you get the motion that you need. But look, I'm sitting down. And then I just rotate it this way, cut again, so that you'll have some that have a bigger chunk of one piece and some that have a bigger chunk of the other piece. You shouldn't have to trim again. Let's just do it the right way, shall we? Swivel comes in. See how much nicer when you stand up. All right. Where'd my other little guy go? We don't know. Let's cut another one. Rotate it this way. Line her up. And the rotating mat is just lovely because then you don't have to do what you saw me do before and turn and be a dangerous rotary cutting person. Here we go. Okay. So then when I take these and I sew them together, they'll alternate bigs and littles, as you can see in ours. I'm going to sew those together and it's going to create a hexagon circle, I guess you can call it, like this little guy. Now you're going to have raw edges, so we want to do something so that we can applique it down. So my favorite method, which I want to share with you real fast, is to use a lightweight interfacing in order to finish our edges. So there's what, and I've pressed all my seams open because I think it lays a little bit flatter. So this is just a lightweight fusible Pellon. So I have put the fusible side, the nubby side, right sides to my flower. I've stitched 1/4 inch all around, and then I just did a little slit in the back of my interfacing. And when I turn it right side out, it has finished my edge. You could do a raw edge, you could do a hand applique, you've got a lot of different choices. But I'm a big fan of this because now I have my fusible, so when I go to where I want it for my flower, let's say my flower's down here, I can actually iron it. It's going to hold it in place while I do my applique. And I just use a regular blanket stitch around. So hopefully that will give you an idea, a little bit up and close and personal, on how to do the hexagon flowers for Quilters Covered row by row. Thanks so much.